All right. Good evening, Ram. Thank you for being with us today. So before I start asking you a lot of questions and kickstart today's podcast, I would like for you to introduce yourself as if you were telling it to someone who didn't know what you do.
Okay, I would say first, thanks for having me here. I'm very excited to be here. So I would say that I'm a visual artist, but predominantly my domain being photography, right? So of course my career post college started with like a lot of events
Right.
and weddings and so on and so forth, and that's how I made my money. But post which in 2015 I decided to go over to Massachusetts to, until then I was a self-taught photographer. I didn't know much on the technicalities. So when I wanted to study a little bit more, right, I took off to Massachusetts, and that's where I did my master's in photography and film, and also business in the line of photography, right? So upon coming back, I started out, teaching. And luckily, my break was with Nxt, and I've been teaching for about 8 years now. And so I would say that I'm a photography educator,
All right.
but also visual artist who's trying to break waves in terms of trying to enter the new domain in terms of photography, right? Because of course everybody's creating images, but my one question is this a print-worthy image?
Right.
That's the kind of an approach that I have to any assignments that I do, or even in fact my personal work. That's the question that I ask myself before I take a picture.
Right.
And that's where, so I would say visual artist is like the thing that I'm trying to achieve through the medium of photography.
Right. I picked up on something that you said. You said when you take a photograph, your aim is whether a photograph is print worthy.
Yeah.
And why exactly print worthy when the world is becoming more digital?
See, let me connect this with regards to fashion, right? In one way, when a designer is designing clothes, right, we talk about the sensitivity of things, but we
Right.
talk about the touch, we talk about the feel. There are many people who, the moment you get like new clothes, just put it up to your face and like that happens. It's like the
Right.
smell of new clothes,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's the touch and feel.
Right. Right.
That same euphoria that you get when you hold something new, right? That's what you get when you hold a print of your work. And that can never replace seeing it on an iPad or on the big screen. Period.
Interesting. So, speaking of fashion, you touched fashion a bit. I would like to know more about your perspective of fashion and how it ties in with your work, apart from what you just mentioned.
See, of course, I photograph for a lot of brands, right? That's like my direct connect with fashion. I teach with Nft, so that's like my secondary thing where I teach in the Department of Fashion Communication. So it's about how we communicate fashion with. So we do a lot of editorial work. We teach a lot of editorial work where it's also the writing is as important as the clothing that you photograph, how it's
Right.
being represented, how the ideology is being represented, right? So the way that I connect to fashion is one predominantly on these domains, but the idea also of fashion as a whole came to me because my mentor, the one Mr. late David Turner, he passed away just about a few months back, and he hands down was one of the finest fashion photographers out there in the world, right? So he's photographed Ralph Lauren, like it's his work is phenomenal, right? And every class that we had with him and my discussions with him were on the lines of fashion. So
Right.
how I drew an analogy for print with regards to fashion, right?
Right.
That's exactly what he would do with anything. You go talk to him about food, he would say, oh, look how great this color is.
Interesting.
How well this is represented. It would be great for someone to design clothing from this kind of a color.
Right.
right? And so we would discuss ideas always in terms of fashion. And something very interesting that he used to do was every Monday he'd bake cookies for all of us, and during lunch we'd have like a table as big as this, and he'd just lay out all the cookies, and around the cookies will be fashion magazines from around the world.
Interesting.
Okay, and we'd call it Magazine Monday. So we just come there during lunch. It's everything is laid out. You have a cookie, you have your lunch, and then you pick up like a magazine, get to know what's happening in the world of fashion,
Right.
and then you discuss it.
Right.
And so he always says, once you understand fashion, once you understand someone's lifestyle, you understand someone's ideology,
Right.
and based off of that ideology, you get to learn something in return. And that, in one way, has always steered me into this kind of a work that I'm doing.
Right.
But I don't shoot fashion as much as I teach what needs to be done with regards to or the
Image
approach
making.
of visual imagery,
Right.
right? So because my work more of lies into the documentary, lifestyle, portraits, that kind of a domain.
Right.
But fashion is something that I'll never give up on.
Makes sense. So you also mentioned that you teach in Nxt, and you also mentioned your ideology and your perspectives on fashion.
Right.
So what do you observe, let's say, when you encounter teaching Gen Z students? What is your perspective of Gen Z as a cohort?
Okay, so I have two thoughts to this.
Okay.
Okay, one side, they come up with radical ideas that's pretty much way out of the box that even the faculty sometimes have difficulty understanding what they do, right? Sometimes that's a great thing, but sometimes if they are set in their ways, then for the student, it's like, if let's say you are designing something, but the faculty advises you saying that, okay, this is not going to work, can you go and rethink, right? One, they're talking from experience. But
Right.
if your mind is set saying that, no, this is something that I really want to do, then there is no prosper going forward from there, because you're not willing to change your mindset. Okay, so that's the negative part of the thing that I would say. But the positive part is, for someone who's both willing to listen and willing to go back to the drawing board and work on something new with the same enthusiasm that you did the first time around, and then go present it, I'm pretty sure that's something that they will be able to relate to from both the creator's perspective as well as the buyer's or like the viewer's perspective.
Okay.
Right? So the way that I would say is, things have changed because now AI is coming up, right? And because of AI, you have all these prompts, you have all these ideas that you can say, okay, just feed in your assignment and say, okay, come up, give me like a list of ideas that I can work with.
Right.
Okay, that sometimes cut shorts the process of thinking.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So my point being, those who really want to do it will go through the effort of putting in about 1,000 reference images together, coming up with like a concept note, coming up with like, okay, me as like a photographer and as a visual artist or as a designer, this is my philosophy and I want to convey this to someone. Okay, that happens. But someone who just wants to get through the course of it, who's there for like the namesake of it, that's not going to work. And that's the case in pretty much anything. Those who want to do will do.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But with like Gen Z, I've seen the way that they adapt to technology like no other's business. They're really good at that. Like I couldn't adapt to that so fast. Right? If there's something new, okay, let me try it out. Let me try and figure out how that's going to work in my benefit.
Right.
That's the thought in which 90% of them head towards a problem. Right? So the adaptability is what I'm finding like very inspiring, to be honest.
Taking a bit of a hard left,
Yeah.
what are, let's say, 3 to 5 pieces of media that you've been consuming of late, and how does that inspire work? It would be ideal if it's something recent, but it's also fine if it's something that you've watched previously, but now you're going back to.
Okay. So one, of course, is music. So I listen to everything from Carnatic, Hindustani, all the way to like death metal.
Interesting.
Right. So it's like a
Pretty wide
tangent.
range.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty wide range.
Yeah.
I love jazz. I love blues. Not a lot of people are into blues, but when I'm working, like blues like gets me into the groove when I'm editing. So music is one media content that I do. The second one would be, of course, movies, because I
But
do
something in specificity, mention an artist right off the top of your mind.
Jared Leto, 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay.
That's because he is an inspiration to all of us. It's if you've watched the movie Dallas Buyers Club, he got an Oscar for
Yes.
it, and if you listen to his Oscar speech, that's something that melts my heart. It's like how his mom brought him up, and he's
Right.
like, that is something.
Goosebumps.
That's something that, and from there, it's like from having to work on like a great movie like American Psycho, to a musician and going global. That's something that I will never forget. So a specific artist is that. Then in terms of Carnatic music, I would say I've had the privilege of working with two of the three favorite artists. One is, of course, Bombay Jayashree, T.M. Krishna, and Sanjay Subramaniam. I've worked with T.M. Krishna and Bombay Jayashree, but Sanjay, hopefully, in the coming future, fingers crossed. Wide range of dancers, like performing artists, right? Had the privilege of working with great artists, photographing them, seeing them on rehearsals. So that's in terms of like music, dance, and performance. I used to be a part of a theater group, so we did a lot of production back in college, and that drew me into the form of set design. So I worked with quite a few set designers out there. So music, dance, arts, performance, theater. So all that you could put it into one bucket. Then the second bucket would be in terms of movies. So I consult on a wide range of movies here in the Tamil industry, on both art, visual direction, set design, so on and so forth. Of which, again, talking about a few movies, it's I would say till date my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. It's
Who
like,
knows?
it's
There is
like,
nobody, no cinephile who never quotes that.
yeah, it's
Never
no,
does not quote
quote
that.
that. It's
Yeah.
also because Morgan Freeman, and how he's just with all his glorious voice. That's the kind of movie that I aspire to write one day. Matrix for its ideas,
For sure.
right? And me being like a computer science student back then, I was like, whoa, this is like mind
Makes
blowing.
sense.
It's like that, and like the sci-fi world of it.
Right.
Dune, Arrival, pretty much.
Arrival is amazing.
Yeah.
Arrival is amazing.
So how these are the kind of movies that have like a unique tone to it, like the new Batman, like with Robert Pattinson. That movie was amazing, like the tonality in which like
the cinematography and the sound design,
and also the visual treatment of the film instead. Right. I was not too engrossed in the story of it. I felt that was like the weakest part of it.
Yeah, but I think almost everyone completely ignored that, because everyone was like, the movie's so beautiful,
awesome, like
of the visuals. Yes.
So that's with regards to movies. And then finally, the third one is the only thing that consumes my life is video games, like day in and day out. From the last time that we met until now, I finished one video game. So that's like
finished playing
from starting to end.
Interesting.
Done.
How many hours do you play in one stint?
In one sitting,
yeah,
usually it's between 6 to 8 hours.
Oh boy.
6 to 8 hours. So I finish work, I go home, and then sit down for like 6 hours.
All
That's
right.
it.
So I want to understand. Do you stay up all night and do this?
Either stay up all night or wake up early in the morning and do it
That's
before
some
work.
commitment.
Or now, last couple of years back, I picked up a Steam Deck. So now, in between shoots, when like the model is there waiting, she's going for like a sari change, and I have like 10 minutes to kill. I'm finishing up like whatever is like the pending thing, and then put it on pause, go shoot, and then the next model there's like a 5-10 minute changeover. I sit down on it.
Interesting. So food is something that you try and work in. Food, rest is something that you try and work in between work and video games.
between video games. Of which there are 3-4 video games which are groundbreaking, I would say. The top of it all is from one of the greatest creators of all time, Hideo Kojima. He's a Japanese game director, and he's the guy who created the new video game about a few years back called Death Stranding. Right, like the philosophy behind it was phenomenal. But before I get to the philosophy, let's take a look at the cast. There's Norman Reedus, the guy from Walking Dead, and he also has his own show. He's on his motorcycle and with his crossbow and the zombies. It's a spin-off of like The Walking Dead, so he's the lead on it. There's Leah Sado. There's Guillermo del Toro. Right, it's star-studded. There's Troy Baker. It's the video game is filled with brilliant artists, and it's pure cinema. Right, he directs and he brings all of this to life. So this is a game which is post-apocalyptic, where delivery people are everything. And
I think we're already there.
This happened. This video game released just before COVID happened. So people were indoors playing this game while delivery people were coming and giving them their orders. So what if the entire world is wiped out and there are preppers and like there are people who are stuck down? So basically the game is just walking from point A to point B, delivering goods. That's it. But it's got this entire thing where he does something called as a strand theory, right? Which means you need to contribute towards the greater good. So it's a multiplayer game, but you don't see another person. But where the multiplayer facet of design comes in is that suppose let's say there's like a bridge that's incomplete, that's started by another player. You can go add materials to it so that the bridge is completed. So you're taking time out of your schedule to do something good for someone else. So imagine this as like multiple structures are there, it's all half completed. So someone else finishes it for you. So if there's like a delivery that's been dropped in midway, you can pick it up and go deliver it on behalf of the other person. So if there's like another person who has left his motorcycle there, you can see that motorcycle with their name on it.
Interesting, because generally when people talk about video games, they talk about a lot of violence.
He specifically designed it for this. He's like, we need to come together. And so there's no video game that's doing that right now. So let me do that. Let me build it. So he built this entire genre of video game called the Strand system. It's called the Strand video game. And here, all the enemies have like a strand that's basically coming in from their umbilical cord that's connected to the earth. Right, so it's like we're all connected through that strand, and that's how we perceive. So the philosophy behind it was mind-blowing. And then of course Elden Ring, you must have heard of it. It's by this creator George R.R. Martin, who wrote the Game of Thrones, and Miyazaki, of course. Like both of them put their heads together to create Elden Ring. But funnily about Elden Ring and the Souls games which have been created by From Software is that they all have like a fashion tie-up to it. Right. So talking about design and fashion, you ask how I would consume all of this, right? So when we play, for example, Elden Ring, in the game world we call it Elden Bling. Right. And then Dark Souls is like basically Fashion Souls. Lords of the Fallen is another spin-off. We say Lords of the Fashion. Right. So for each type of video game, there's like one type of like fashion attached to it. And me with like, so I have another bunch of friends who are also gamers, but they come from different fields as well. Right. So one guy is a photographer, other guy is he's one of the biggest startups in India. And so when we play together, we kind of have, we discuss ideas. We discuss like, hey, what's happening with your work? So how do you get past what is it that you've been working on? So if there's like design ideas, so business ideas. So we exchange knowledge while we're just having like a good time, just chilling with each other. So that's the kind of things that, video games brings us together in a way. So with regards to fashion, with regards to design, the way cinematics have been done, music has been composed specifically for like most of these video games. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's the biggest entertainment industry is like the video game industry.
Right.
And it's me being like a little part of it, contributing to it, right? You get a lot of things in return.
Right.
So for at least in my field, I look at the fashion, I look at how someone's writing the lyrics of it, the screenplay, the level design, character design. It's like, oh, they've gone through all of this,
Right.
right, to get to that.
To hone in on the fashion aspect of
Yeah.
these video games that you play, there is always, let's say, some sort of character customization that every game allows.
Correct.
How is this different from that? The games that you have mentioned in specific.
Okay, so for example, if let's say there are certain games that already come with like a previous character, like for example, if you're playing someone like a Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Like Horizon, there's like the character is called Aloy, and she's like a lady, and the game designers have designed her in such a way.
Right.
So the only thing is that you can change her armor sets. So the
Right.
more like you change the armor set, the look and feel of it will change. That's about it. This pretty much in these specific games, there are nearly thousands of permutations and combinations between these armor sets that you can do to make it your own, right? So of course it adds stats to the character, right? Armor, that's like the primary focus of armor is, okay, I'm going to get X number of defense, I'm going to get X number of attacks or critical attacks. So you have like a mental calculation saying, okay, all of this is going to help me progress in the video game. But with these other Souls-like games that I was telling you about, after one point in the game, the stats don't matter. The armor stats specifically. It's just for how good that you look. Okay? And it's also because there are people who can invade your world, who can come in. Right? And so the moment you see another person wearing like the same thing that you're wearing but with like a different combination, both of you do something called a spin to win. Like you just spin the character around.
Yeah.
And it's
Basically nerds being divas.
Yeah, pretty much that. Or there's one guy that I met, he just like gave like a very elegant bow.
Right. Yeah.
With like how you would bow in front of a majesty. So that kind of a bow, and he says welcome.
Right. Interesting.
Right. So it's like to give like a thumbs up for the effort that you've taken in to gather all of this.
Right.
And because these games are so difficult, to get a certain piece of armor set is you need to beat like a very tough boss.
Right.
So you're going through the effort and time to do all of that and then get this, and then
So it's something that you
list
earn.
through. Yeah, it's something that you earn.
It's not just something
that's
you put on. Right?
Yeah, that's the entire essence of it.
Pretty interesting.
But I never. So I think that the developers intended it that way for like the first few video games.
Okay.
But as this started coming on board, I think for Elden Ring, they're like, okay, we're going to go fancy. We're going to go everything from like, and there are body types between the male character types and the female character types, right? You have different armor sets for both the characters. So in one thing, you have like this huge wings with like metal breastplate with like a steel horn.
Right.
And when you're looking at it, it's just gorgeous. That's about it.
Pretty interesting. So my question is, you are a photographer and you have a lot of range even within your work.
Correct.
Like I remember you mentioning that you do fashion photography and you've also photographed valves.
Yes.
So there is also pet photography that you do.
My studio is pet friendly.
So
it's anybody who wants their dogs, cats, birds, any animal, you're more than welcome to.
Lovely. So that brings me to my question.
Yes.
Which is your most, let's say, dearest subject to photograph and why?
Okay, so that depends on my mood, to be very honest.
Okay.
Sometimes if I need to be by myself, I just take this entire thing, dump it into my car, go somewhere up top a mountain, just go sit there by myself and take pictures of. It's just so I don't publish any of those. It's just I take pictures for myself.
Right.
So that's one thing. So nature and landscape is something that I constantly do, but for myself. Okay. Of course, the kind of fashion work that I do is for money. Though I enjoy it, it's still I wouldn't go searching in terms of like, in terms of like, okay, I need to go work with this brand, I need to go work with them, I need to go work with them. So I'm not ambitious enough to go from chasing brand to brand to brand.
Right.
It's like when the brand contacts me, I'm like, hey, yeah, cool, like we can work on it together. Okay. uh, Pets and portraits are like my most uh, happiest. I'm like the happiest when I'm working with other people, when I'm working with pets. Like pets, it's like I don't have to interact with them. I just go give like a big fluff and then roll around.
Right.
And it will be like 20 minutes of shooting, whereas like 5 hours of. There's this one time where this family brought like six of their dogs, like different breeds.
Oh boy, that's a
Right,
lot of
everything
dogs.
from like a terrier to like a German Shepherd to what I think is another Goldie, and they also have like 2-3 cats. So they didn't bring the cats this time, but ideally, yeah, pets is like something that I would get into. But the other thing that I enjoy is documentary work. So I do a lot of CSR projects. So with like all of these projects, it's I go deep interior of Tamil Nadu. So like go into the south. So I spent quite some times in the Satyamangalam mountains,
Okay.
documenting the 18 villages that are inside.
Okay.
I did an entire project on Rameshwaram, which is released as a book about last year, I think, where we did everything from like the cultural aspect of Rameshwaram, the Kalam aspect of Rameshwaram, the sports tourism of Rameshwaram, which nobody knows about. Right? There's like it's big for sports tourism, and people think that Rameshwaram, oh, it's like only temples. No, dude, there's like sports tourism. There's like food. There are so many other things that you can do there. You can see coral reefs, clear beaches. It's like if you want, it's like it's like the clear beaches that are there in Goa. This is as similar as the clear beaches that are here.
Might be much
Right?
better.
It's
Probably.
actually much better and cleaner because like nobody just goes there.
Right.
Right? It's also because like the moment you say Rameshwaram, it's okay, temples. So we wanted to change that, and we wanted to say, okay, we'll show you what and all is what Rameshwaram has to offer.
Right.
So with Vivekananda Kendra, my team and I, we worked on the book, and it was published last year, which was great. So I love working on social documentaries like this, which has like a cultural asset attached to it, because it's something that I represent. And the other thing for fun is I go to Indian festivals, of which mostly down south it's like Amman Tiruvizha, types. And we last year and we went to that Kulasekarapattinam Muttaraman festival, where crores of people turned up, and so we got to document that. 2013 in Allahabad, where, like straight out of college, I got to spend about 6 months with the main Kumbh Mela, like the Purna Mahakumbh, which is like once in 144 years. So I spent 6 months there. Yeah, that was exciting and fun. So
Interesting.
I enjoy every part of my work, regardless of what genre it is.
Yeah.
But personally, I would say portraits, pets, landscapes, and
In that order?
Yeah, in that order. Pets is like, okay, we start with pets, and then it's like, and then people, and then landscape.
Landscape.
I photograph food. That's something that I love doing.
Interesting.
So
Would you like to talk more about it?
Talk more about it. It's nothing to talk about. Like people call, I go, they put food on the table, we design it, shoot it, and then eat it. So the only thing is, only thing with my food photography is that I am true to the original.
Okay.
So my principle is that I wouldn't want to break away from false advertising. Like I don't want to showcase false advertising. So anything which replaces, like for example, like people would use super glue, like the white Fevicol liquid instead of like mayo.
Right.
Because it looks like the glue looks better.
Yeah.
Right? Like you have fake ice, you have ice cream, you have like plaster of Paris that's fake. Right? Like so I generally tend to don't associate myself when it comes to food photography that way, because I would say I want something that's true to nature.
Right.
So if you're advertising a juicy burger, then make a good juicy burger, keep it in front of me as to how a customer would receive it at the end of it. I will do the best to light it properly, to give you the details in it. I'll show it as beautifully as I can with what I can. But I'm not going to replace the food there.
Makes sense. Makes
Right?
sense.
The only thing that I am permitting so far with regards to that is you can half cook that food, because half cooked food are like better when it is for pictures, right? So they don't fully fry it.
Right.
It's like half cooked food is there, but still it's the real thing. It's exactly what the person is going to get. Right?
Makes sense.
And post shoot, I make sure that all the food is given away. There's no, it's like, because when we're shooting menus, right?
Or eaten up.
Or eaten up. That's what. So when no, for this restaurant in Vellore that we were shooting, we had close to about 200 plus items that's there on the menu. Right?
That's
it's a
lot
huge
of
menu.
food.
Right? And so at the end of the day, like as and when like we write down the numbers, and like I'm pretty organized with like my work. So as soon as I shoot, like the number is written down, and that number corresponds to the color coding of like what are the approved things that are there. So all of that is interesting. But as soon as that my process is done, when I give the thumbs up, the food is given to the staff.
Okay.
The food is given outside. So we're making sure that okay, it goes out, it's not wasted. Somebody gets to eat it.
Right.
That's what it is.
Okay. Now I'm going to come full circle to the last question.
Yes.
No more lefts or rights.
Okay.
So we covered a lot of different topics, and given that we are here in the VisioNxt Insights Lab in Chennai, it would be interesting to know what are 3 trends you would forecast or predict for, let's say you could give me any span of time, but ideally something that you have been observing for a while, and something that you, let's say, personally predict coming up for, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years.
So live service games are going to fall, which is a live service, meaning there's like a game that lives on for like 10 years where they ask for like in-game purchases, where like we were ironically talking about skins in video games before we were recording, right?
Right.
So you need to pay to buy that skin.
Okay.
Okay, that's called a microtransaction. So eventually, like there are going to be laws against gambling. Eventually, there are going to be laws against loot boxes. Eventually, that live servicing and keeping like a game going for that long, where you need mandatory internet connection, where you need even without anything, you need like mandatory internet connection to even just play the video game, right? So anti-consumer stuff in terms of like the video game industry is going to crash.
Okay.
Second, what I'm other forecasting is that the OTT platforms it needs a new revolution, and that's going to change drastically in a different way, because the way that we have started consuming content is now different. Like until now it was phones, which is all vertical. That vertical will go back to its original of landscapes soon. I'm saying within the next 5 to 10 years.
All right, so you're saying that
the
because
vertical
reels are trending now, but they
reels
probably
trending.
are not going to be 5 to 10 years down the line.
Exactly. Okay. And not just that, because of that, the way that content is consumed with regards to OTTs, right? Like for example, are you subscriber of Amazon Prime by any chance? Right? Like you are. Did you get the email saying that now you're going to be getting ads?
Oh yeah, hella annoying. Yeah. Also within
the payment cycle.
Within Prime, there are multiple tiers of payment again, which is very annoying.
And most importantly, when you Google something and it shows that it's available on Prime,
and then when you go, you have to rent it.
Exactly.
Yeah, annoying.
So because of the cost factor that is involved, the entire OTT thing is going to start changing. And also content by country. Like there's specific content that's available here on Netflix with Indian region, which is not available elsewhere. Right? But then you search on Google and it's like available on Netflix. You go there to that page, it says not available in your region. right? So of course that can be bypassed by VPN, but at the end of the day, it's still how many people have VPNs that they pay for, right? Oh, okay. So in terms of technology, that's the second thing. So there are two things that are going down. The third emergent trend is that now AI is becoming a trend, right? What I'm afraid of is fake AI coming in.
Oh, it already is, I'm guessing.
Okay, in terms of AI powered is going to be a word that's going to be used instead of new gen powered or whatever.
Okay.
Right?
So it's like the greenwashing of AI.
Correct. So what is that AI going to do? We don't know. But we're going to market it in such a way that I'm not picking a specific product, but it can happen with anything.
Right.
And that is going to happen. And so because of that, what is also going to happen is the true AI is going to take a hit.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. So now the question is, are you with AI, since we're talking about it, the question is, I would say we need to start adapting to things. So the trend wise, it's like, oh, Reels is a trend. Okay. Now you have like an AI thing that can create Reels for you. Right. So because of that, what is happening is in turn is they're going to have copyright in laws that are going to be now written for AI. For example, how does a generative fill works? Or how does a image generation works? Because it looks up the image sets, it looks up the fashion sets, it looks up the data sets online, and then it builds on something.
Right.
The neural engine builds on it, correct? Now, what if you as an individual create an artwork or create a piece of fabric or create a piece of music that you say, I don't want AI to use this. Right? So you are then going to go into copyright law, and then you're going to go and say that, okay, you're going to copyright it to say that, okay, AI can't use this without my permission. So you're blocking. So that is the next trend, is for AI laws to start coming in, right? Because right now we don't know where that AI is taking that image from. Let's take Ghibli, for example.
Oh God, that was such an annoying trend.
Look at it, like the artist put in so much of time and energy into Ghibli, and you do this and like, yeah, I have like my Ghibli artwork. It doesn't work.
Right.
It's a disrespect towards the artist. Right. It's disrespect to every visual artist that's out there to try and say that, yeah, okay, I can create Ghibli art in like 2 minutes. Right. That's going to happen to every animator out there. Now, people who had all of these jobs, right, now they need to start adapting that AI to their job perspectives,
Right.
to start increasing and being relevant, So that trend is going to, like, AI is the next thing that's happening. That's for sure, right? Considering we have like the AI lab next door, right? It is what it is.
Right.
But how do you put it to use? Both from philosophy and both in terms of the actual usage.
Right.
There are two questions. So whether you're doing right by it and whether you're sticking genuinely to your work is a very big question. So how do you adapt to it, and how does that go forward? It's simple. Earlier we used to say auto-tune was something for musicians, right? It's like, oh no, auto-tune, it's not true music. Right now, what if like AI is creating the music? Right? So to what extent do you let that happen? And where does the border of the creativity of like a person and like the AI line, that's like the gray area that we need to like wiggle around it.
Right.
So trend wise, that's what I would say.
Alrighty then. It was lovely talking to you, Ram. And
likewise.
Hopefully we have one of these conversations again sometime soon.
Yes. We shall see how this one does.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.